My 26F boyfriend, 27M, falsely staged a drug intervention for me. I'm not addicted to drugs. What do I do? I've, 26F, been with my boyfriend, 27M, for 3 years. Our relationship has had absolutely no issues before this incident. He has been the perfect and most loving partner. However, last week, I came home from work to an intervention with all my close family and friends, orchestrated by my boyfriend, who has apparently convinced them I'm a drug addict. For context, I have no history of drug use, no behavioural signs that would suggest addiction, and no reason for him to believe otherwise. I believe he knows I'm not on drugs because he has said things to my mom and sister that he knows to be untrue, that things have gone missing around the house, they haven't, that I've used his credit card to withdraw money, I don't even have his card details, and that I've been acting erratically, absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. When I confronted him about all of this, he said it's not about the drugs, it's about making sure you're safe. My partner is a psychologist and has convinced my entire family I am displaying all the hallmark signs of drug addiction. They all insist I'm in denial and that I need help. No one is willing to entertain my denials at all. My mom says she isn't willing to have me over to her house, and my sister won't allow me to see my nieces until I go to rehab. Based on conversations with my family and friends, I believe he's been spinning this story for several months now prior to staging the intervention. I am super embarrassed as he organized for practically all my close friends, family, and even a work colleague attend the intervention. But more than that, I feel utterly betrayed and confused. I can't understand his motivation for doing this. Can anyone offer me some insight as to what is prompting this otherwise normal man to do this? Too long, didn't read, my boyfriend falsely claimed I'm a drug addict, staged an intervention, and now all of my family and friends believe him and insist I'm in denial. His motivation is likely to manipulate, isolate, and control you. To have the people you would go to for help no longer trust you so that he is all that's left. Unfortunately, many people go into the mental health field who enjoy preying on the more vulnerable. But getting a drug test privately and leaving the guy would both be great ideas IMO. This 100% has making you look unstable and possibly a danger to yourself for his own benefit. Has either gone nuts. Has a problem that he thinks he can solve by maybe you meeting your end life assurance policy on you in his name. He wants to control you by dismantling your support structure. Either way, you need to be getting the fuck out of that straight away. Go and see whoever you think is your best advocate and tell them what's going on, even offer to get a drug test. Go to the police and see if they have someone who looks after potential victims of coercive control so they can have your details. Get out, right now. And just to add, when you are clear and settled, you should put a complaint into whatever governing body he is a member of, so that he can play games with anyone else, patient or partner. I can see him having her institutionalized and drugged up. OP, this is scary. Get out. As others mentioned, take a drug test to prove you're not on anything. Have your friends search your stuff so they can see you're not hiding anything. Except they live together, so he could be planting drugs in her stuff and even have been spiking her food with it. She needs to literally grab her money and disappear now to a hotel no one knows about, then handle any reputation damage with HR. I would go get a drug test quietly to make sure she wasn't poisoned, and consult with a lawyer for help. Update team. Get a drug test, the hair kind, and let them all grovel with apologies. Also dump the BF who is weaponizing his profession to isolate and control you. I propose to do this on the spot at the intervention, but they are convinced there are ways to fool them. My mom has said she won't believe me until I go into a rehab facility and a provider there confirms this. But this requires me to actually get admitted. Sweetheart, I know this feels impossible, but you need to stop focusing on proving them wrong and start focusing on making sure you are safe. You can do this. You can make it to the other side. I'm so sorry. This is horrifying. Please contact domestic violence services in your area, explain what's going on. I'm sending you so much love. I'm so sorry he's doing this to you. Op, please listen to this. It's not about proving them wrong at all. They've shown how easy it is to be fooled and you can't trust them now. Also, every single thing she'll want to do, cry, counter-accuse, damage properties will be construed as evidence of her addiction, not her victimization. She needs a lawyer, and she needs to get the fuck out of there, yesterday. I like the idea of getting a lawyer. Someone needs to advocate for her. I'm worried about this girl. Seriously. This. Because that asshole is setting her up for a 5150, I guarantee it. Google search for others who don't know, like me, it's basically getting her committed. 5150 equals involuntary psychiatric hold. If I were OP, I would not only break up with him, I would document everything, get a lawyer, and press the medical board to revoke his license to practice, as what he is doing is not only highly unethical, it directly falls under the scope of things you can face licensure revocation for. This guy is up to some serious fuckery. Honestly, I would deal with family later. Your priority should be leave your ex ASAP. Don't accept anything from anyone or anything that you didn't see being made. These people are strangers now for what you know. If you leave with your BF, move out now. Don't stay another minute with this guy. Drop everything if you have to, this is serious. I would also check with a lawyer on what to do next. You can report your ex for his unethical behavior and in some countries sue him for defamation. By suing, you can do a court-ordered drug test and clear the air with your family. Just leave and act. Don't try to see why. This is serious as fuck. He's manipulating your friends and family to gain total control and isolate you. He's going to hurt you. This is genuinely one of the worst and scariest advice posts I've seen on Reddit. Really hope she gets out fast. As someone who went through this, they isolate, then the abuse starts. This post made my blood run cold. This is an attempt to isolate and undermine you. That no one will believe you. This will be followed by more abuse. If he is not yet abusive, apart from this move, please get professional help. Get a lawyer and DV institutions involved. Do something now. This, you, throw our intervention-y. Your post is one of the most alarming ones I have seen here in a while. If your partner has not been abusive so far, although I would say if you combed through your memories, you might spot a few missed red flags, the question is, what is his motivation here? His goal? Is it a case of financial gain? Purely to have control over you? Or, even more scarily, doing a test run to see if he can get away with this sort of thing? Pure power play? You need an ally. If none of your closest people believe you, enlist the help of someone who is not particularly close to you and who has no skin in the game. Maybe your doctor? Get away from him as soon as you safely can, taking your most important things with you, but be careful about trackers and check to see if he has opened any accounts or credit in your name. Does he have private photos of you? I do worry about you and hope you get through this. If he's gone to all this trouble to control you, I wouldn't put it past him to have slowly spiked your food drinks with some sort of drugs to mess with any tests you do as well tbh. OP, please read this. Also please dump him yesterday, get away from him, this is dangerous. Is there some sort of board registration that he needs to maintain in order to practice? Once you have the negative results from the hair tests, you should consider reporting this to them. Although I have to admit he sounds dangerous, so I'd think very carefully about taking this step. But apart from that, go with the hair test. With this behavior he might have been spiking your drinks or food even. Dump him, block him, lawyer up. Do whatever it takes to get rid of his ass. Get tests done. Anyone willing to go along with story without getting the source of who it's about was not truly on your side to begin with, even family. By the way, I have seen this one time in real life. It was a wealthy couple with kids. The husband wanted to leave, but didn't want to lose everything, so he started out by confiding to his therapist about his wife's addiction. This was all false, it was just a way to create a documented paper trail. Then he started saying random things to neighbors, family, friends, the kids. He even had a PI follow her and try to video her in such a way that she appeared to stumble. He was ultimately unsuccessful, but I think that was due to her family's wealth. It was frankly pretty terrifying. I get the creeps every time I see him. He's still trying to do underhanded stuff too. These people are real and they mask very well. So people have offered a lot of reasons why he might be doing this. Honestly, they're all bad. Like really bad. He has no good motivation for doing this. Anything from his going to kill you to his trying to have you committed. All bad. I think this is one of those situations where you move out secretly. Do not tell him where you are going and salvage the situations you can for now. I think you contact HR at your work and you tell them you are in an abusive relationship and you prevent this from destroying your career. He involved a coworker, which to me is to get you fired or in trouble with work. So I think that is the first damage control. Do you have any friends he hasn't contaminated yet? He's been playing a long game like a true psycho, so if you do, I would reach out and confide in them that you do not feel safe and he is lying and manipulating your family. Your family will take longer. For some reason they really believe him and are drawing a hard line on this. Maybe seek out a therapist that you can start to develop a relationship with and then together talk to your family members one at a time. But honestly, I wouldn't do that right away. I would give yourself time to find a new place to live and to rebuild. He's banking on your flailing and just trying to convince everyone you're not on drugs. So I think you go dark and you don't do what he has planned for you. Get somewhere safe. Do not tell him where you went. I think you can even write a letter to your family saying you are safe, you've never done anything to make them not trust you, and you are sad that they would believe the lies of your abuser. You will clear your name, but until you can, your safety is in jeopardy and he cannot know where you are. Also report him to his governing body. He's nuts.